Hello everyone, my name is Daniel and today we are going to be talking about the Worldwide Developer Conference that happened Monday. Is this dramatic enough for you? Alright you guys, so Monday was the first day that I did not immediately run home after a keynote day and watch the entire stream. I unfortunately wasn't able to, but I'm here to recap some of the things that I'm extremely late getting to you. One of the major things they released at the Worldwide Developer Conference this year was iOS 12. Now, obviously, I'm not going to get into extreme detail, but one of the things that they did mention is the fact that the keyboard is going to be 50% faster in opening. Apps are going to launch 40% faster, and the camera is going to open up 70% faster as well. Now, one of the things that I like about this is the fact that they are clearly working on efficiency, but something that I have a problem with is the fact that they are working on speed, but we haven't really seen a lot of features. On a lot of the Android phones, when you open up the camera app, you have aperture, exposure, different lenses to choose from. There's tons of different settings that you can pick, throw filters, like the whole shebang, just like a professional camera can. Now with iOS, really all you have is portrait mode, square mode, black and white. You can throw some filters on there, but they should really be working on their features instead of their speed. Another thing that they announced at the conference is ARKit 2. For those of you who really don't know what that is, last year they released ARKit, which AR just stands for augmented reality. And it pretty much analyzes the area and allows you to see graphical interface overlaid on top of what the camera itself sees. The software works seamlessly enough for you to measure the dimensions, how height, weight, things like that within the camera app, and allows it to use the software to integrate things into it, which gives you a virtual reality type look. One of the apps that they did mention is called Measure, and it allows the camera itself to measure the dimensions of an object so that you can find out the width or the height of something. So really I can see where this would come in handy because there is a certain utility to it. But can you imagine the video games and alternate reality that is going to come out in the App Store within the next couple of years? Another thing that they did related to mobile devices, and I guess this could relate to Mac as well, is the fact that they updated Siri again. Siri is kind of starting to get a little outdated to me, which is a good thing that they decided to finally integrate Siri into apps more often. One of the biggest examples that they gave for this was the fact that you can integrate Siri into apps like Tile. So you can say, hey, because I have a lot of iOS devices in my house, I've lost my keys or I can't find my wallet. So that's automatically going to turn on your Bluetooth, open up your Tile app if you have one, and then it's also going to locate that tile for you. So that way you can kind of do that hands-free, and that should be integrated into a lot of other apps as well. Along with the camera and the updated Siri, they did release the fact that FaceTime, you can now do a conference call with multiple people, and you can FaceTime up to 32 people. To be honest, other than huge corporations and things like that that already use Skype and a lot of other secure software, I really don't see a reason why you would want to FaceTime 32 people at the same time just because. One of the biggest things that people are talking about is the fact that they have released something called a memoji. I'm not even sure if I'm saying that right now that we're talking about it, because last year they released something called an Animoji, which basically is just an animated emoji that uses the camera to scan your face, and the emoji mimics your voice, the way you speak, your facial expressions, things like that. This year they have released kind of like a branch off from that called a memoji, and basically it takes a Bitmoji, no relation to the app, makes it look like you, and then it uses the same camera software to do the voice and the facial expressions and allows it to send it to other people. So technically a memoji is an Animoji, just, yeah. Now, sliding away from the mobile aspects of it with the iOS 12, they did release some software for the Mac. A new Mac OS was released and it was called Mojave. It did kind of hint on the fact that they're going to bridge some iOS with Mac OS and kind of make it a little bit more seamlessly, which, to be honest, is something that you would have thought Apple could have done years ago and just haven't yet. Speaking of bridging things together, Mac OS is getting some apps that is already on iOS, such as voice memos, HomeKit, which is going to allow you to control things like your Philips Hue lights on your Mac, which is something that I'm really excited about because I have a lot of those. One of the things that they did announce is the fact that Stocks, the app that everyone hates and no one wants to use, is also coming on the Mac OS. But on the plus side, they did announce some stuff called dark mode and desktop stacks. The dark mode basically takes most of the white design and bezels and turns it into black, which allows it of a more subtle look. Now, I know Twitter, which mainly is white and blue, has a dark mode that I've enabled on my phone, and it basically just takes the background, turns it into black, and it's kind of like a preference thing, and that's exactly what this is with the Mac OS, but I think it looks really cool. Leo, quit eating. Now, desktop stacks, I am not that knowledgeable on this specific topic that they hit in the Worldwide Developer Conference, but from what I understand, it takes your apps and your icons and things like that is on your desktop, and in order to reduce the clutter, it knowledgeably groups them together that are all related somehow. So let's say you have a lot of applications on your desktop that maybe have something to do with photo editing. It's going to group all of those together and it's going to stack them so that you can organize your Mac a little bit better. Now, one of the things that I really want to talk about before we end this video is what we did not see on the Worldwide Developer Conference. A lot of people was wanting an iPhone SE 2 that had the same type of screen as the iPhone 10, just used smaller and cheaper parts. Maybe instead of a OLED display, they switched it to an LCD display to make it more of a consumer-friendly option so that they can afford it. We did not see that at all in the Worldwide Developer Conference, and I was kind of wanting it to be, because last year around this time, and I think the time before that, they released a cheaper version of the iPhone, which basically was an iPhone 5 with just upgraded specs. And I'm thinking in my head, from a marketing and business standpoint, they're just trying to get rid of parts that they have in their warehouse. Another thing that I want to see is if Apple is going to start branching out and making like a HomePod, then I would personally like to see them make their own version of smart home tech like Philips Hue lights. They should make their own version of a Nest, which I think that they've already tried to do something like that, but it didn't really get that popular. So if they can tone down just a little bit on the prices, and they can figure out how to work all of this smart home tech in for a more consumer standpoint, I think that they would be more successful in that market, and that if they hit the right price point instead of jack the price up, that they would be able to do something a little bit better. So what I would like for you to do is put something in the comments below and let me know what you liked about the Worldwide Developer Conference and what you want to see that you didn't. While you're at it, if you don't mind, to click in the description box and subscribe to my channel. Please give this video a big thumbs up. Click this button right here. If you need assistance subscribing to the channel, check out these 2 videos as well that I have previously posted. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. I love all of you. Peace.